welcome to Fishing Squad. Well, I've just got down on a mark to have a go for some bull Huss. I'm solo tonight. We're about at low tide. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I think highs around 6ish. Sorry, highs in 6 hours, around 9ish. I don't know where I got that from. Right, so I'll show you the mark in a minute. I'm just tackling baiting some rigs up. We've got Seaglow components on our rigs. Got the pulley rigs, 200-pound hook length, about 2 foot long. Kentaro 6.0 short shank, leaving a decent tag end on just to strap into bait. There's a bead in between, and then there's a Kentaro octopus on the back hook. Seaglow power swivels, and then we've got a pulley swivel that's a Seaglow power swivel as well, just down there. We've got the Seaglow splashdown with 7-ounce gripper. What I'm going to do with my grippers, like I say, we're over low tide at the minute, so we should hold out on the clean ground, but I'm just going to pull the wires out just a bit, just so we get some good grippage on the clean ground if this tide starts running at all, which it probably will do as it comes in. It'll probably be a slow start, to be fair. So I'll just pull them out like that, and I just like to bend the ends over about 1/2 centimetre so it gives it a bit more of a resistance when it's rolling around on the seabed. It don't really matter what grip lead you use around here. You very rarely hold bottom without putting 12 ounce on. I'd have thought. I've never put any gun any more than 9, and that's enough for me. So it's 100-pound rig body, 200-pound hook snood. We've got both rods on the same rigs. We've got a couple of other different hook patterns. Like I've got 6.0 Kentaro short shank on some and an 8.0 Kentaro short shank on the bottom. It's all pretty much the same. I like these octopus hooks. We'll do a bit for the Seaglow team here, just a bit of promo if you like. I like these octopus. You see it turn on them. I reckon when I do good taupe fishing, if I want to put a big bait on, I'll put a Mutsu circle on the bottom. I'm just explaining my thoughts on this. It seems a bit mad because everybody likes to use a circle as a back hook. I like my back hook to be bigger than my bottom hook. Someone showed me this, they told me this, and it's worked fantastically. That's why we've got a 6.0 on the bottom and an 8.0 on the back. When we get to taupe season, because these octopus ones are really thick and strong, and so are the circle hooks, the Mutsu circles. The Mutsu circle will be on the bottom, and it'll just enable me to fish a bigger bait. I may use some of these octopus for dongles. We can also use a pair of J-hooks, a pair of the Kentaro short shanks. But I think for the ground I'm fishing, I'm going to fish like that. I have a thick octopus hook on the back in 8.0. A Mutsu circle on the bottom because it's a bit more snag proof. Trouble is when you fish rough ground and you put 2 J-hooks on, it can snag. The trailing hook will always snag pretty much, I reckon. What I noticed on here last time, it's not the roughest of ground marks. When I put the Mutsu circle on the bottom, I lost less gear. Plus you also get the opportunity that if you're in a species hunt, you might get a bonus fish on that if you don't catch anything big on the full rig itself. But it doesn't snag. The circle doesn't snag. That's why I'm going to use that. That's just a bit of tackle chat. Show you the bait we're using. First baits, I'm just going to do my bait's still a bit frozen, by the way. I'm going to do 2 mackerel and squid baits. That's my mackerel. I've just cut it in half already. Half a fish on each. Then we've got these from the Chinese Oriental Wholesales in Doncaster. The squid tentacles. Everybody rolls their eyes at squid tentacles. Not me. Catch fish on them all the time. They're quite big squid. That's quite a big. That squid would have been like that. But because they're quite thick, got loads of squid ink in them. Just cut a few of them off and strap them onto the mackerel, I reckon. I'll bait them up, and I'll show you the rods and reels. I know I do go on a bit sometimes on these videos, like I've just gone on about them rigs, but that's just how I do things. Not very concise. I'm on my own, so I'll probably get a bit more entertainment out of talking to the camera than else if the fishing's quiet. It don't matter who you are. When you're down here on these marks when it's dark, it can play your head a bit when you're on your own. I'll give someone some tips on how to get away with that, or get around that if you want. The first one is, if there's anybody about or anything about, just go along with the fact that you're probably more crazy than they are for being out here. Just depends on what you believe. I've heard some cracking ghost stories of people from certain areas around here when they've been night fishing. I've never really mentioned anything in my videos because it probably freaked me out. That's how long we're going to fish for until we get freaked out. Now, if it fishes well, I'll be here all night. If it doesn't, I'll be back home at 7 o'clock. I'm joking. Now, it's all about just not worrying about. It's only your own mind, isn't it? It don't matter how tough you are. When you night fish down here, it's absolutely pitch black. And there's some marks that I feel more comfortable on in darkness. This probably is the second favourite one in darkness, to be fair. I can't stomach fishing off beaches in darkness. Just let me know what your thoughts are on darkness on your own, because it's not everybody's cup of tea. I like to think that the fishing will offset the mindset, if you like. But yeah, what I will say, it's 1,000 times more better when you've got someone with you, honestly. I've got a bit of the old man flu as well. Anyway, we'll get these baits rigged up. Enough chat. I hope you found that bit a bit amusing about the night fishing stuff. And as far as tackle goes, I've got the equivalent of basically 2 Ron Thompson accelerators. Obviously, that's still the Ron Thompson brand. This is the IMAX Dam version, exactly the same blank. Pretty much the same finish on the rods. It is the same finish on the rods. It's just, well, it's the first time I've had them side by side actually, and the only difference I can see is the labels. That's it. On these rods, I've got Pen Rival 8000 long cast on there, loaded with £30 Berkeley Trilene, £70 leader. On the other one, I've got a Pen Battle 3 long cast. Same mono, same shock leader. It's the baited rig, squid and mackerel cocktail. We'll get it fired out, see if we can pick something up. So that's the mark we're fishing off today. Lovely jubbly. So rods are there. Got run out at 45-degree angle that way, one out of 45-degree angle that way. Keep the lines apart, and hopefully we'll pick some fish up. Both rods are in run, by the way. So, let's see how we get on. Yeah, make sure you put your rods in run, your reels in run. You do not want to be losing a rod off these marks. Fish big baits like that, anything can show up, even at any time of year. So, see how we get on. When you're Huss fishing, or just fishing in general, I suppose, it's always good to have some tools down with you. I tend to find long nose pliers are pretty decent for hooking congers, Huss and taupe. So I like to have a pair of them. I have a pair of snips in case we have to snip any hooks, or lengths of mono or wire or whatever. A pair of scissors to assist with baiting, sharp knife, a baiting tool, just a few bits. It's made life a little bit easier. Long nose pliers are pretty sound for hooking a lot of fish, really. Anything from sort of ballon wrasse, even blennies, right the way through to bigger species. So, yeah. So I've got them rods out now. What I like to do is, while I'm waiting for a bite, is I'll pre-bait 2 rigs so I can get them fired back out again as soon as I reel them in about 20 minutes time. They've been out about. I'm going to leave these first baits out for a bit longer because I don't think the fish come onto this mark till the tide starts flooding a bit, and then they're here usually. It could be different this time though. You know, we've had a lot of rainwater and stuff. Sometimes that can affect the fishing round here. But I was surprised actually. The last 2 times I've been through, we've had quite a bit of rain, and they were here. They were mad on it. If there's food here, they'll be on it, won't they? You'd have thought. So that's just a couple of bits that I've noticed. I think darkness is key on here, but we have got really cloudy water, so you wouldn't think darkness would make a difference, but it generally does. So yeah, we pre-bait 2 rigs usually. Sorry, I don't know if I mentioned about the amount of elastic I brought down with me. You saw it there. I'm an absolute twat for just leaving it everywhere on the rocks and then searching around for it. So I need to bring about 10 rolls down just to make sure I know where it is. So I've just got a really bad habit. Jay will tell you. I use it and I don't know where I've put it. It turns up obviously later in the session, but I need to bring plenty down with me. So we're gonna bait some rigs up now. Just gonna get a mackerel. I hope the filming's. I'm gonna get a bit of filming done in daylight like this, so that up to press this video might be quite longish so far. But then the darkness, I'll probably try not to film too much in darkness. We'll get a fish out. It'll just be a case of big quick shout at camera. unhook, photograph and put back. Probably won't see me landing it or putting it back or anything like that. It'll just be a quick show to the camera. But if I get a bit done, it's a bit of a bonus being down here in daylight for once. Last couple of sessions been in pitch black, and it's been awkward for the film, and you have to just bear with me. We had a bit of wind as well. Sound might not have been too clever. I hope it's better this video, I really do, but you've got to bear with me. It's hard enough when there's two of us down here. On my own, it's going to be even harder. So while it's quiet, I'll get a bit of filming done. When I mentioned about night fishing as well, this is another thing that can occupy your mind, making baits up. Like I say, it's not everybody's cup of tea night fishing down here, because it is absolutely pitch black. It doesn't matter how tough you are, your mind can wander, especially if you watched an horror film recently. Luckily, I'm not too far away from where I'm staying, so it's only a short walk back up. Start getting them confessions in about being scared at dark. So right, we've got a mackerel here. It wasn't quite a full mackerel. I'd used a bit when we fished at Treffer last time, so I'll just snip a bit off. We'll throw that in. It's been frozen once this already. It's not something I like doing that. And then we've got some tentacles, squid tentacles. So let me get them. Just a sec. You'll just have to bear with me, guys. Not as organised should be. Yeah, I've got a box of squid, but I've also got these big sections of squid tentacle with like the squid head still attached to them from Chinese wholesalers in Doncaster. So I'll start giving them a go. That squid it'd have been massive, wouldn't it? So I think I've already mentioned that. I know about these squid tentacles, but yeah. Oh, I'm getting a bite. Just wait there a minute. Right then, guys, straight away that one. Like I say, I had a bite when I'm talking on camera. I'm just pouring a pool. She's full of spawn, so I'm going to gently get her up, leaving that pool to recover, then put her back. I'll give her a quick weigh as well. Put her back in the sling. Get that hook out of her first. Fish care is paramount, but especially when they're full of spawn. So I'm going to wait for a big wave and lower her in if I can. Just let a big wave come up. It's awkward because I'm on such a drop. There we go. That's got her. That's best I can do, guys. I hope you appreciate that. Right, the light's just dropping a little bit. It's probably the last bit of constructive filming that I do in daylight. There won't be much more constructive filming, if you like, as we get into darkness. So I'll just show you what I've got set up at the moment. So I've got two baits ready to go out in there. As you can see, I've put squid over the shanks of the hooks, after I've baited the hooks into the bait, if you like. Any offcuts of bait I've started putting in this tub, because you start getting, as you do it, you see that juice there, and you end up with your bait marinating in it. And that induces hookups, especially with species like the Huss it does. So we'll see how we get on. Filming will be a bit limited now. I think I've rabbited on enough. We've had a fish out. Relatively happy. Hopefully we'll get some more. There's no excuse for not getting a couple more out, other than the fact they're not here. Fish of the night. Little strap conger. We'll get him an hook to have a picture with him and put him back. It's not a bad one off this particular mark. It's probably the biggest one I've had off this particular mark. It's only about £4 or £5, but more than welcome all the same. Guys, second conger of the night. It's only another small one. A lot smaller than the other one, but a welcome fish all the same. We'll get him hooked and get him put back, I think. The other one took my hook quite a way down. I had to put it back with the bottom hook of the pennel in. It's the only trouble with congers. I couldn't do anything for it. So what I've done with that rig, rather than getting a new rig out, I've made a dongle rig up with a single octopus hook that was left on the rig. Might help with a bit of fish care with the congers, we'll see. Fingers crossed. Right guys, another Huss. Nowhere near as big as the ones we've been getting. Probably £4 pounder, I'd say that. Most welcome fish. We've got a tide running now. I've had my rods pulled over twice. I've damaged rings on them both. We'll have to re-ring probably both rods for 4 minutes, strip down. We'll do us for now. Just the tide run's picked up. I've got them in run for some reason. These Shakespeare salt tripods, I've ruined mine basically. We'll worry about that in a bit. We'll get them up, get them put back. Nice fish. Nice bit of swell coming in over the top of the tide. Just got to be careful. Trouble is on this mark, there's an upper ledge, but there's like a wall, a little wall you have to get up. It's not as easy just to bail off as other marks. You know, to move out of the way if the big wave did come in. We're going to be fine tonight though. It's not going to be an issue. It's just a big tide. We've got a bit of swell close in. So we had 2 Huss, 2 strap congers. I did lose a Huss on the surface as well, which looked a better fish to be fair, but typically it would do. So it's 8:30 now. I think we're going to give it till about midnight on here. Maybe it's got to let this. We've got a tide run at the minute. Once it eases, I think we'll come back on the feed in the force. Sometimes the last Huss I caught didn't even give a bite because of the amount of tide run. But my rods go over twice. I'm going to be re-ringing them at some point. I think before the summer. It's really done my head in that. If anyone's got any tips for re-ringing, or someone that might be able to re-ring them without charging a fortune if I buy up bits, let me know. Pre-baited rigs. Now I've got quite a bit of liquid in there from baiting up, so we can give them a wash over with it. Just put a bit of scent out there. Get these clipped on and set back out. And reel the baits in for a change. Right, the 5th fish of the night. It's another Huss. Smallest one, second smallest I've ever caught in my life. That it's about £2 maybe. Definitely a Huss. Look at them eyes, you can tell all day long. Never mind nasal flaps. I don't even know if a dogfish have nasal flaps or not. I don't know how to differentiate them quite like that. You can just tell that they're Huss for me. So yeah, took a big bait. That didn't give me a bite. Lovely prime baby Huss. I'll have a picture with her and put her back. Lovely fish. Right then guys, that brings the session to a close. It's been a really decent session overall. I've caught a few fish. I've had 3 Huss, 2 congers. I've lost Huss on the surface, looks half decent. Let's recap. The session started really well. First bait, I hooked into a 10-pound Huss. Landed, weighed, released. Lovely fish. I've had a couple of strap congers. One of them was about £5, which I'm quite happy about from this mark, because I think it does prove we know the congers are here. We do get mucked about by really smaller ones than that. It's still a small conger, don't get me wrong, but it just makes me think there might be some bigger ones out there. I've then finished the session on a smaller Huss, about £5 or £6, and then I finished one on the session on the tiny one that I actually thought for a second was a dogfish when I reeled it in. But they've got characteristic movements, they've got characteristic traits that they all do, these Huss. And it wasn't going to let me trip up on that one. That would have been schoolboy. So yeah, really good session. Fish on your own at night. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it done half. Well, just generally fish on your own. Done half do your mind some good and stuff. I love fishing with my friends. I love fishing on my own. I'm really spoilt, really, in that sense. So yeah, really happy. I'm struggling to stand up. It's not very comfortable here. Really happy with everything tonight. The Sea Glow stuff worked really well. We used the Kentaro hook range and the power swivels, power cranes, and the splashdowns. If you want any information about them, drop a comment in the comments. Bit of news from Sea Glow to everybody. Currently expecting the release very, very soon of the first rod that they've ever produced. It's the GT1, casts 6 ounce from bait for clean to mixed ground, part of the match and scratch range. If anyone wants any more information on that, drop a comment, I'll point you in the right direction. Should be a good one, that one. Everybody's quite highly impressed with it so far from what I've heard. So yeah, other than that guys, that's it for this episode, if you like. Really enjoyed myself. Went through loads of bait. I bought 8 mackerel down, a box of squid, about 4 or 5 of them big octopus tentacle things, heads, whatever you want to call them, and went through the lot. I was surprised. I just went, them last couple of bait ups, I actually thought there were going to be 2 mackerel left. Gone. Went through the lot. So yeah, it will do if you're down here for like 6 hours. Got down here for 4, 7 hours been down here. 2 baits an hour, innit? 4 baits an hour, sorry. Change every half hour. So yeah, really enjoyed it. Had the stomach for the night fishing tonight. It's been a good one. Got to walk back up now and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much.